is Zach. I wanted to do a really quick video explainer on the development cheat sheet. We're sending it to you and I talk about it a lot. So I wanted to do a video to show you exactly what it is that we're asking for and how to fill it out. So I'm going to go through step by step here and actually kind of talk through each section and give you a little bit more context so that it's easier for you to fill this out. You probably know this, but this is just designed to basically get the information from your head out onto paper. It's designed to work in conjunction with the reference samples that we talk about that we need and to give us clarity on the overall big picture of your project so that we can get a sense of what it is that we're making with you. Okay, so let's just go in here really quickly and get through some of the top things. You're going to put your company name and information here. I'll jump down to timing. So here we ask a couple questions about timing. We really do want to know whether you have any sort of deadlines that you're up against already or any targets that you have. It's important for us to be clear about the timelines up front so we can let you know, number one, is that feasible? And if it is, then we make sure we plan accordingly to get samples done. So what are the dates you want samples? Are there any dates where you want to have production delivered and you need production for a launch that you're doing? And then, of course, if you have any sort of shows or anything else, I can't tell you how many times brands will schedule photo shoots without telling us, and we're the one making the stuff. So we really need to know whether you've already booked something. And if you haven't, make sure you tell us beforehand so we can coordinate and make sure that we're done with all the product that you would need before you actually book a photo shoot. Okay? Moving on to development basics. What are your 12-month revenue goals, 3-year? I just want to get a sense of what your goals are for your company. Now, why does this matter? The reason is every single brand that we spend time on is an investment of our time. We see 50 to 60 different brands pitching their ideas to us essentially every week. So we're trying to make sure we have clarity into your goals. What are you trying to do? Some people, it really is about building a multi-million-dollar business. For others, it's just about not having a day job anymore and being able to quit that and focus full time on something that they love, right? So tying it to financial allows us to focus on what are the implications that you care about, and we need to be on the same page as you because, again, this isn't transaction, this is a partnership, and so we really want to know what it is that you're looking to achieve so we can have your back. Simple as that. The next one is, what is your unique differentiator? So the example I put in here was our fabric is bulletproof. If you don't know the answer to that, that's not necessarily a deal breaker, but we want to know what you're aiming to differentiate your brand through. So what are the things that you're going to do differently? What is the problem you're trying to solve? What's the main thing that you're bringing to market that's different? It's important to think about that. Next up is rank price, quality, and speed in order of importance. Again, because you're focusing and you're niching down and not trying to do everything, we want to know, where do you exist? Is it about being a high quality brand? Is it about being able to get product to your customers, something custom right away in a week or in 2 weeks? Is it about having the lowest price point, right? And those have different implications for how we would make the product, so it's important to know early on. Competitors in your space. So who are some of the other people that are doing what you're doing, the most similar ones that you can find? You want to have that and list them out for us. Base size is what that is like when we first make a prototype, we're going to start with one sample, one size, and we're going to get that perfect before we move on to grading and do the other sizes. Typically, we want it to be in the middle of your range of sizes. So let us know what that is. The other thing is that it should also be the same as your reference samples. So if you're sending us mediums, then that will usually be the base size, and then we can grade from there. Just make sure you have a fit model or you are that size. So when we're done with samples, we can put it on you, get approvals, and then move on to grading after that's done. Last thing is production size range. So same thing, just let us know what the range is because that'll have its own implications too. Okay, so now we're done with the top part. We know a little bit about you and what you're trying to do. We know some of the key things about timing and finance and things like that. Now we get to move into the actual style breakdown, the collection. So the first thing you need to know here is how many styles do you have in your collection. And so you're going to go style by style and fill this out the best you can. Okay. By the way, we have like a cool little save clear fields here thing here. And so I can go, I'll just show you what this looks like on this next page and just clear this out. Oop. And you can go ahead and fill in your stuff. But I'm going to keep it up here so I can show you what it is, like what examples we gave. So for style number 1, our example here says men's hoodie. Okay. The description and the name can be anything that you want. We just need to call it something. You can, when you're selling it, you could give it a new name if you want. But we just need somewhere to start. You'll notice the first question that we really ask has nothing to do with the fabric or construction or anything. It has to do with price point. We start with target retail price point because we all need to know what it is that the customer is going to be paying for it, because that's really all that matters, what the market is going to pay for it. Not how much does it cost, how much are people willing to pay for this thing. Again, you might not know 100% exactly what the price point is, but you need to have kind of an idea, and ways to do that are going and looking at competitors, looking at other things in the market, figuring out what's different and where your price point should be compared to those. And if you're going to be higher priced, you should think about why that would be. So anyways, these are some of the things that we can talk about in the kickoff meeting, but we'd like you to give your best effort in just kind of like answering it before we sit down. So you just put in the number that's you're going to be selling it for. You put in your target manufacturing cost, and then you put in the production quantity, right? So I can change this to, okay, we're going to do 300, okay? And the idea here, let me see if I can, going rogue. Let me just refresh this. Okay, so the idea here is that you will be able to put in the numbers, and then it'll populate based off of the quantity you're doing and your manufacturing cost and your retail price point, what your gross profit will be. So that's just kind of like an example of what that might look like. So play around with that. That's just like a little tool you can use and start to get a sense of like the financial picture. So as we move down here, we have fabric sourcing. So the first question we say is, what garment is your fabric reference? So you might have one sample for construction or for fit or some other things, but we need to know what kind of fabric you're looking for. And you can just tell us if you know exactly what it is, but you might just have a swatch or have another sample that you like the fabric of, or you like parts of it, but you can tell us what you want to change. So here you say, we have a blue Nike Crew sweatshirt, and what we're asking here is to match the fabric. It's a French terry cotton, and we're going to match the rib that's going to be on the cuffs, and you just take anything that you know and you would just communicate that to us. And maybe you say, I like this, but I want it thicker, or I like the color, and I like the weight, but I don't, I want something that's softer. Just give us a starting point. That's what it's all about. Same type of thing with trim. You could say, okay, well, this says flat twill draw cord. We're referencing some other thing here. Eyelets, you have some eyelets from something else. In this case, it's the Under Armour reference. If there's closures, elastics, like take a minute to look at the garment yourself and really like dissect, okay, what materials are on this thing? Like what's here? Okay, I have the buttons, right? Or there's fusing in here. Like this is the fabric, is there contrast? What's going on? So again, I know you're not going to have everything filled out, or you might not know everything, but do your best to fill this out. Again, that allows us to know what it is you want to make. Okay, last piece here, next piece is pattern making and fit instructions. So this is where you will tell us this garment, but we're going to change the body. We're going to use the hood from this one and put it on. We're going to remove panels. We're going to increase the sleeve length. Right? Simple as just, oh, this is too short. We're going to make it 2 inches longer. And anything else that you want to communicate. Next up, labels. And by the way, guys, the left stuff here, this is just to kind of get your juices flowing. It's not like you have to necessarily fill this out exactly this way. We just want to get the information from you, and this will help you to start thinking about how to communicate what it is that you like and don't like. So for labels, if you know you want a woven label or a certain kind of label, just let us know. Super simple. Artwork. So screen print on front chest. So say we have this hoodie. You know you want to do a print on the front. So that's helpful to us because why? We need to go and make screens early on. We need to do strike offs and test, and we want to do that simultaneously while we're building out the sample so that when we're done, we're not starting the printing later. So what does that mean? You got to go get artwork as early as you can. If you need help from us, we have graphic designers here on staff, so let us know. Okay, colors, give us the color, size, the dimensions, basically, of the print, and then the location. So where on the garment is it? These are all things that any printer is going to need. And then last thing here is the construction and sewing notes. A lot of you are not going to have any information for this because you might not know what the sewing terms are or what is being used. So feel free to just say match X sample, or and realistically, if we don't get this information from you, we're going to use the fit reference sample as the construction sample too. So that's basically how you would fill out one style. So we start with the finance stuff. We talk about sourcing and materials. We go into pattern making and the fit. And then we finish with artwork and then sewing. Okay? So take your time, give yourself the space to go and do this. You need to have some reference samples to fill this out. But that's basically it. And then you just come down and fill style 2, fill style 3. If you guys have any other questions, please let us know. This is a working document. We can update it and make it better. But we're just doing everything we can to make it easy for you to get started and get past that point of idea so we get you some samples and really get this thing going for you. And yeah, we're super excited and we hope to hear from you soon. Talk to you later.